ministers engaging in such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape are by no means unfounded. And quite frankly, having looked at the law prohibiting blasphemous libel, even if I actually was making unfounded and vicious allegations about Unitarian Universalist ministers engaging in such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape, this would not actually amount to blasphemous libel in any case. So just complete bullshit in this arrogant and quite hubristic cease and desist demand letter. Clear perversion of justice, clear attempt to misuse Canada's blasphemy law to intimidate me into removing blog posts about Unitarian Universalist rapists. Yeah, that wasn't the only thing. Another issue in the letter was that I was being accused of threatening and defamatory conduct amounting to sexual harassment of one Reverend Victoria Weinstein, also known as Peace Bang, that's her internet pseudonym. This was for blog posts that were critical of a sodomy fantasy that she had posted to the internet back in... Are you shaking your head in psychological denial, sir, perhaps? Hey there. So, this guy entering the church, looks at my picket signs and vigorously shakes his head. A typical response from Montreal Unitarians, that they're just in total denial of what's on these picket signs. Which, by the way, I suppose I should point out, before getting back to the story about Peace Bang. In my right hand, Unitarian bullying and bigotry, suck you, asterisk you. Well, I think we've already covered some aspects of Unitarian Universalist bullying and bigotry in what I've already said. When I do speak of bullying, I generally mean, verbal and psychological bullying. But of course, that includes legal bullying as well, such as what I've already spoken about. And a certain amount of physical bullying has also taken place. I have had threats of physical violence made against me by some Montreal Unitarians. I have in fact been assaulted on occasion by some Montreal Unitarians. In fact, going back to the beginning of this month, on the 5th of January, I was protesting when the former president of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, one Margot Ellis, thought it would be a really good idea to just barge right into me and knock me to the ground, even though I had stepped back and given her plenty of room to pass on the sidewalk. And as if that wasn't enough, since we're talking about perversion of justice here, it's bad enough that she assaulted me, but as I was leaving, the police showed up. This was about an hour later. I hadn't called the police. I was basically debating whether or not to report the assault to the police or not, and wasn't any huge rush to do so. So the police show up, and I'm leaving, so I wave goodbye and let them know that I'm going, and they say, no, we need to talk to you. And it turns out that I was being accused of knocking someone to the ground outside the church. And according to the police, they even had eyewitnesses to this assault of yours truly on a female Montreal Unitarian, according to what the police said. Well, guess what? That never happened. Quite the opposite happened. So this is clear evidence of Margot Ellis, or another Montreal Unitarian, calling in false report. Actually, you know what? It's not me who made a career of it. It's them, because they don't want to deal with it.
How many years have you been at
15, actually.
How many?
15.
Wow. I remember seeing
this is what
years ago.
Well, this is because they don't want to deal with the situation. They don't want to talk. They don't want to They don't want to negotiate. They don't want to like settle the problem.
What's the problem?
Two main issues: anti-religious intolerance and bigotry on the part of the atheist members of the church,
Okay.
including clergy, and not just locally. I mean, it happened locally with me personally, but it's a common problem in Unitarian Universalism.
Okay.
And then the other one related to that is clergy misconduct. In my case, the minister attacked me, not the current one, but the previous one. He labeled me psychotic because I'm claiming a religious experience. He labeled an interreligious event that it organized as a cult, and so on.
He's long gone now, I guess.
He's gone, but the problem hasn't been resolved,
Okay.
and they keep escalating. They keep doing stupid stuff. Believe it or not, right now, right at this very minute, the head office down in Boston, their Vatican, is accusing me of the crime of blasphemous libel against the Unitarian Universalists. Blasphemous libel, yes.
It can't be blasphemous. It could be libel maybe, but not
Well, this is
blasphemous.
the thing is they're accusing me of the crime. Well, they're not talking about this.
Yeah.
I have a blog, and on the blog I spoke about some Unitarian Universalists who were convicted of pedophilia and rape.
Yeah, okay.
And they're saying that my blog posts about these Unitarian Universalists, engaging in pedophilia and rape, are unfounded and vicious, and thus defamatory. And they're so defamatory that they constitute this crime of blasphemous libel. So.
And they won't take you to court on it.
They can't.
They can't because you're right.
Exactly.
Okay.
They totally put their foot in it. Okay. And what's hilarious is, the people down in Boston that are responsible for accusing me of blasphemous libel, lobby against blasphemy laws in the United States, but happen, when it's convenient to use ours. But on top of that, they're atheists. So I'm being accused of blasphemy by atheists.
That's what I meant. It could be libel, but not blasphemous.
No, that's the whole point. Is like, this is the interesting thing. Is even if I was actually doing what they say, that is libeling certain ministers or whatever, it wouldn't actually constitute that crime of blasphemous libel against the church because it's another issue. Blasphemous libel is
something on their theology.
Exactly. It's about their deepest. Exactly.
Right.
Unless rape and pedophilia are sacred.
You're right. Unless they're part of their tenets.
Exactly. It's like, okay, sorry, excuse me, didn't mean to step on your tenets here. No, they totally put their foot in it. But anyway, I keep.
Years, wow.
Yeah, but
you're devoted to that.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to church.
Yeah, you are.
A
Unitarian. A cold day, you're a little bit outside, but.
Well, actually, one of the reasons I'm here today specifically is because there's a visit from Concordia and University and McGill University students.
Okay.
So I want them to see this.
Okay, good.
So good talking to you.
Yeah,
right. Thank you. Bye bye. So it's another positive conversation, and yes, we have it recorded. 25 minutes into the half-hour recording capacity of this camera. We're off to an amazingly good start this morning. We got 3 interesting little interactions with the public. 2 that are clearly positive and supportive, and that's it. So getting back to where we were, Margot Ellis falsely accused me of assaulting her, or someone did so on her behalf. I think it's fairly obvious. I mean, I'm making some assumptions here, but they're reasonable assumptions based on what actually happened. But then getting back to Peace Bang's sodomy fantasy, I am being accused, as I said, of threatening and defamatory conduct amounting to sexual harassment of Reverend Dr. Victoria Weinstein, because I've posted blog posts that are critical of a sodomy fantasy that she posted to her Peace Bang blog. Well, here's the sodomy fantasy that she posted. The exact words, if I remember correctly, or an extremely close approximation of what she said, but I'm pretty sure these are the exact words. Here's my sodomy fantasy. Senator Bill Napoli, here's my sodomy fantasy. South Dakota State Senator Bill Napoli, anally impaled on the Statue of Liberty's torch. And I am being accused of sexual harassment of Reverend Dr. Victoria Weinstein for criticizing what can be properly described as threatening and defamatory conduct amounting to sexual harassment of South Dakota State Senator Bill Napoli by Reverend Dr. Victoria Weinstein. That is what we know as outrageously hypocritical double standards that Unitarian Universalists are only too happy to practice. So, we have a few younger people coming, so I suspect some of them are these university students who I'm expecting to arrive today. And we will be starting a new half-hour segment soon. Good morning. So, anyhow, we've had quite a successful start to the protest today, and it was nice to speak with someone who has, known, that I've kept up this little alternative spiritual practice, to use Reverend Deborah Pope Lance's words, for 15 years, and who understands that, yes, I'm just going to church. That was Pierre Bennett who just passed me, who was actually, if I remember correctly, the very first Unitarian Universalist to assault me when I was initially protesting in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal back in the spring of 1998. I tended to just stand near the entrance of the church where this trash can is, which wasn't there at the time. So I was basically just standing here like this with a couple of picket signs as people entered, before I understood that it was necessary to circulate. So anyway, Pierre Bennett assaulted me when I was doing that, and it looks like I can't really say more because we're just about done with this segment. But yes, he basically held a fist right in front of my face and threatened to punch me in the face